Hello, dear friends, and welcome. Today I invite you to journey with me through an experience that forever shifted my understanding of life, death, and the mysterious power of prayer. I still remember that crisp October morning in 2023. It began like any other day, filled with routine and quiet, half-remembered prayers. Yet, as fate would have it, that day would reveal to us a truth so profound that it redefined everything we once believed about the unseen forces that guide our existence. Before we delve deeper into the revelations that changed my life, I need to ask you something vital. If you believe in the transformative power of faith and the promise of eternal redemption, please subscribe to this channel. Many watch these stories, yet only a few take the step to truly join our community of seekers. By subscribing and turning on notifications, you ensure that you never miss a life-altering messages that could illuminate your path and guide you toward salvation. This isn't just another video. It's a call to awaken your soul and embrace the divine truth that awaits beyond our mortal struggles. Stay with me as we explore the mysteries of the spiritual realm, the significance of that sacred mark, and the ultimate message of unconditional love and redemption through Jesus Christ. Comment Amen so your week gets better. I learned of Alice Carter, a gentle soul working as a respiratory therapist, someone who, until then, had maintained only a casual, almost lukewarm relationship with her faith. On that fateful morning, as she drove to the hospital, her thoughts were with her pediatric patients, tiny lives in need of care and compassion. But in the blink of an eye, the ordinary transformed into the extraordinary. A semi-trailer truck, its driver succumbing to a fatal drowsiness, collided head-on with her car. The impact was catastrophic, and in that horrifying moment, the world as Alice knew it shattered. For 7 minutes and 42 seconds, she was declared clinically dead, a span of time that would become the portal to a reality far beyond our earthly confines. In recounting her story, I am compelled to share not only the raw details of the accident, but also the vivid tapestry of emotions and visions that unfolded during those transcendent moments. Instead of the darkness many of us fear, Alice found herself bathed in an ethereal glow, like the comforting brilliance of a light at the end of the tunnel, beckoning her onward. It was as if she had stepped into a realm of pure awareness, where every particle of existence vibrated with an energy that defied explanation. Here, in what can only be described as a profound near-death experience, the very act of prayer transformed into a tangible living force. Streams of energy that pulsed with life and purpose. I remember her describing how, in that surreal expanse, prayers were not mere words or silent wishes whispered into the void. No, they manifested as vibrant, dynamic currents, each carrying its own hue and intensity, a brilliant mosaic that painted the spiritual realm with the brushstrokes of unconditional love. Some prayers shone with the cool clarity of healing blue and nurturing green, while others erupted in powerful bursts of determination and protection. It was a consciousness projection, unlike anything our finite minds could fully grasp. A clear demonstration that what we call life after death is not an ending at all, but a continuation in a more expansive, luminous form. Amidst this dazzling display of divine energy, a figure emerged, a being of radiant light whose presence exuded both gentleness and authority. He introduced himself not with words spoken aloud, but through a profound communication that resonated deep within Alice's soul. In that moment, it became unmistakably clear that her journey was no random twist of fate, but a sacred invitation to witness a truth far greater than the physical world could contain. This luminous messenger, whose essence seemed to embody the very nature of prayer, guided her through a breathtaking landscape where the interplay of faith and energy was not only visible but palpably real. As I share this with you, I cannot help but feel a stirring in my own heart, a call to look beyond the veil of the everyday and recognize the miraculous workings that surround us. In that extraordinary state, between life and death, Alice experienced a communion with the spiritual realm that revealed the transformative power of sincere prayer. It was a moment when the boundaries between our limited human understanding and the vast, infinite nature of the divine blurred into insignificance, leaving behind only a resounding echo of unconditional love and hope. During those precious minutes suspended in time, every sincere utterance of prayer became a vibrant thread woven into the very fabric of the universe. I began to understand that prayer is not a passive ritual, but a dynamic, creative force, a direct line to the source of all life and light. This revelation calls each of us to see our own moments of prayer as opportunities to connect with that eternal reservoir of grace and power. As Alice's experience shows, even when confronted with the unimaginable, our prayers can transcend the boundaries of the physical, ushering us into a realm where every hope, every dream, and every plea carries the promise of divine intervention. In this shared narrative of wonder and transformation, I invite you to reflect on the beauty and potency of your own moments of faith. Let the memory of that radiant light at the end of the tunnel remind you that no matter how ordinary your day may seem, the power of prayer is always there, ready to guide you, to heal you, and to reveal the eternal truths that lie just beyond our sight. Let me take you deeper into this extraordinary journey. A journey that redefined everything I once took for granted. As I recount this, I still feel the warmth of that divine presence, the kind that fills you with an inexplicable assurance even in your darkest moments. After that fateful impact, Alice's near-death experience became a gateway, a passage that led her into a state of pure consciousness projection. Suddenly, she found herself in a realm where the limitations of our physical bodies melted away, replaced by a vast expanse of radiant clarity and unconditional love. In that higher plane, what struck her most was the overwhelming sensation of walking towards a luminous light at the end of the tunnel, a beacon that promised understanding and hope beyond all human reasoning. There was no darkness, no despair. Instead, every moment was saturated with an energy that felt both surreal and intimately familiar. It was as if she had stepped into a space where time and space no longer mattered, a true life after death that defied all logic. The air vibrated with a subtle celestial hum, and she sensed that every prayer ever uttered on earth was alive here, woven into the very fabric of the spiritual realm. Alice watched, mesmerized, as these prayers materialized before her eyes. They flowed like vibrant streams of energy, each pulse imbued with its own unique color and intensity. Some shimmered with the gentle hues of healing, while others blazed with the fiery determination of those crying out for justice or guidance. It was astonishing to see how the smallest whisper of hope could ripple outwards, affecting the universe in ways that our mortal eyes could hardly comprehend. In this place, prayer was not a silent, solitary act. It was a powerful, collective consciousness that resonated with the heartbeat of creation. Amid this spectacular display of divine energy, a figure began to materialize, a being whose radiance surpassed even the brilliance of the streams of prayer. This was no ordinary apparition. He emanated a profound sense of compassion and strength, a presence that could only be described as celestial. Without a spoken word, he communicated directly to Alice's soul, as if his very thoughts were being imprinted on her consciousness. In that silent exchange, she understood that his mission was to guide her deeper into the mysteries of the spiritual realm. His very essence radiated the kind of unconditional love that can only come from a connection with the divine. This luminous messenger, who would later be known to her as Gabriel, led Alice through a series of awe-inspiring vistas. One moment, she was standing before an immense cosmic control room where countless streams of prayer converged and diverged like notes in a divine symphony. In this sacred space, every prayer was a deliberate act of creation, a tool that reshaped reality in real time. She saw how a single prayer, when fueled by absolute faith and pure intention, could alter the course of events. For instance, she witnessed a mother in Brazil whose fervent prayers for her ailing child activated a chain of miraculous events. A forgotten medical breakthrough was recalled, treatments aligned perfectly, and a community united in support. It was a living testament to how prayer can be a dynamic force that changes our world. Throughout her experience, the symbolism was unmistakable. The vibrant colors of the prayers, the radiant guidance of Gabriel, and the ethereal ambiance of the realm all spoke to a truth that transcends earthly existence. This was not an abstract or distant vision, but a vivid, personal encounter with the very essence of divine power. Every element of that experience affirmed that our connection with God is real, and that every prayer, when made with a sincere heart, is a direct expression of our desire to align with His will. It was in these moments that Alice truly comprehended the reality of life after death, an existence not of finality, but of continuous spiritual evolution and boundless love. I remember how her heart swelled with gratitude as she absorbed each revelation. The silence around her was filled with the soft murmur of collective hope and faith, echoing the very words of the gospel. In that instant, she knew that prayer was far more than a ritual. It was a living, breathing expression of our inner selves. It was a sacred dialogue with the divine, where every utterance carried the potential to spark a miraculous change. And so, in that transcendent state, Alice embraced the undeniable truth. Every prayer matters, and every moment of sincere devotion creates a ripple of divine intervention that can transform even the bleakest of circumstances. The vision of the luminous control room, with its kaleidoscopic interplay of energies, left her with an unshakable conviction. Here, in the heart of the spiritual realm, every act of prayer was a testament to the infinite compassion of our Creator, a reminder that unconditional love is not just an ideal, but a living force that surrounds and sustains us. As she continued to wander through this celestial landscape, the message became ever clearer. Our prayers are not lost in the void. They are received, amplified, and returned to us as life-changing blessings. Now, as I reflect on this profound narrative, I invite you to imagine stepping into that radiant realm, where every beat of your heart resonates with the eternal pulse of love and creation. Let your own moments of prayer be filled with the knowledge that you are tapping into a divine energy, a consciousness that connects you directly with the source of all life. And as you journey through your day, remember that every sincere prayer is a step towards a more vibrant, enlightened existence, a true testament to the power of faith and the promise of life after death. As I continued my journey through that divine space, every step brought me closer to understanding the intricate language of prayer, a language that transcended our everyday words and spoke directly to the heart of the spiritual realm. There, in a realm that felt like pure consciousness projection, I witnessed the astonishing variety of prayer manifested as vibrant currents of energy. It was as if each prayer carried its own unique signature, a testament to the soul behind it and the intention it carried. I saw prayers of gratitude swirling in radiant golden hues, each one echoing the warmth of unconditional love. They flowed like gentle streams that uplifted and nourished the very fabric of existence, reminding me of the tender care that underpins every act of faith. In the midst of this celestial display, I observed prayers for healing, those tender, heartfelt appeals that resonated in deep shades of blue and green. They moved with a fluid grace, as if healing itself were being woven into every cell of the universe. I recalled moments from my own life when I had whispered these prayers in times of desperation, never imagining that my words would someday find such a luminous echo in the life after death. The energy of these prayers radiated with an intensity that surpassed mere hope, suggesting that true healing is born of a deep connection to the divine. In that moment, I truly understood that healing wasn't just physical. It was an affirmation of the soul's inherent resilience and a call to embrace the light at the end of the tunnel. Then came prayers for guidance, appearing before me as streams of deep, mystic purple. Their motion was deliberate, like a gentle yet insistent push toward a destined path. In these ethereal ribbons, I sensed a powerful force urging us to make choices aligned with a higher purpose, a call to live authentically in the embrace of unconditional love and divine purpose. It was in these moments that I recognized how each prayer, when offered with sincerity and deep faith, could reshape the contours of our reality, directing us away from the pitfalls of despair and toward the radiant possibilities of a redeemed future. But perhaps the most profound revelation came when I witnessed the synergy of collective prayer. Here, individual voices merged into a single powerful force that resonated far beyond what any solitary prayer could achieve. I remembered Gabriel's quiet words echoing in my soul. Where two or three gather in my name, there I am with them. Matthew 18:20. In that sacred convergence, the prayers did not merely add up. They multiplied, creating waves of divine energy that rippled outwards, touching lives in ways that transcended human understanding. The sheer power of this collective consciousness was palpable, a living reminder that unity in prayer opens doors to miracles and reaffirms our shared connection with the Creator. Yet, not every prayer shone with such luminous clarity. As I wandered further, Gabriel gently guided me to a quieter corner of that magnificent expanse, where the energy of prayer appeared faint and fragmented. These were the weak prayers, the ones that, due to a lack of faith, empty repetition, or selfish intent, barely left a mark on the spiritual tapestry. They flickered like dim, scattered lights, struggling to pierce the overwhelming brilliance of genuine devotion. I felt a pang of sorrow for these prayers, understanding that without the full surrender of heart and soul, our words remain mere echoes in a vast, indifferent void. It was a stark reminder that the potency of prayer lies not in the mere utterance of words, but in the sincerity and love with which they are offered. Then, as if to drive home the message, I beheld an astonishing sight. A spiraling, DNA-like structure of light interwoven with every prayer ever made. This divine blueprint, pulsating with the rhythm of creation, revealed how prayers are intricately connected to the very laws of the universe. I watched in awe as strands of light twisted and turned, each one representing a prayer that had, in its own way, contributed to the evolution of existence. This was not about changing God's mind, but about aligning our will with His grand design, opening pathways that lead to infinite possibilities. In that mesmerizing moment, I realized that our prayers are the building blocks of a cosmic architecture, each one playing a role in the grand design of life after death. It was here, amid the swirling currents and luminous strands, that I experienced an unexpected revelation, a personal montage of every prayer I had ever uttered. I saw my moments of doubt and those times when my heart was ablaze with pure, unadulterated belief. Some prayers had faded into obscurity, their voices lost in the clamor of daily routine, while others glowed with the assurance of unconditional love and purpose. The experience was deeply moving, a vivid, undeniable testament to the transformative power of prayer when it is rooted in faith and love. And I felt tears streaming down my face as I recognized that every sincere plea, every whisper of hope, had woven itself into this magnificent tapestry of life, proving that even in our most vulnerable moments, we are never truly alone. In that profound interlude, enveloped by the radiant echoes of prayer, I came to understand that our connection with the divine is a living, breathing conversation, a continuous exchange where every heartfelt word shapes our destiny. It was a humbling lesson, one that affirmed the eternal truth that every prayer matters, regardless of its perceived strength. And as I stood there, bathed in the glow of that divine revelation, I knew that this near-death experience was more than a brush with mortality. It was an awakening, a call to return to life with a renewed sense of purpose and an unshakable commitment to living in the light of God's unconditional love. Stepping further into this divine journey, I found myself drawn to an encounter that would forever redefine my understanding of prayer and the spiritual realm. It was then that Gabriel, the radiant messenger, appeared in a way that defied all earthly description. His form was composed of shimmering light, his presence both awe-inspiring and gentle, a living embodiment of unconditional love. I recall feeling an indescribable warmth wash over me as his luminous essence enveloped my being, guiding me deeper into what felt like a vast cosmic control room where the very fabric of reality was woven by prayer. Gabriel did not speak in words. Instead, his message resonated directly within my mind, a pure transmission of consciousness that left no room for doubt. In that sacred silence, I understood that each prayer was a dynamic force, a powerful tool of creation that could alter life after death itself. The control room before us was unlike any earthly mechanism. It was a divine switchboard where every prayer, whether whispered in desperation or offered in gratitude, lit up like vibrant streams of energy. Here, in that moment of pure consciousness projection, I saw the true power of faith at work. It was a place where the ethereal merged with the tangible, where the prayers of a mother in Brazil, pleading for her sick child, could spark a chain of miraculous events. A forgotten medical insight recalled by a distant doctor, cells rejuvenating with unseen vigor, and communities rallying in a show of collective hope. Gabriel's silent guidance carried me through this awe-inspiring vista. As I wandered amidst pulsating waves of prayer, I noticed how each prayer carried its own distinct character. There were those that shone with the gentle assurance of gratitude, their golden hues filling the space with a serene glow. Then came the vibrant blue and green currents of healing prayers, their energy soft yet persistent, like the tender caress of a caring hand. And then the deep purple streams of guidance surged forth, urging us toward paths of righteousness and divine purpose. In that moment, it became abundantly clear that prayer was far more than mere words uttered in moments of need. It was a direct link to a higher dimension, a near-death experience that transformed the very essence of our existence. I marveled at how these prayers interwove into a tapestry of life, creating patterns that mirrored the intricate design of a divine DNA. It was as if every prayer was a strand in the great blueprint of creation, an integral part of a living record that transcended time. This realization was both humbling and uplifting, a reminder that our every act of sincere devotion contributes to a cosmic ledger that governs not only our personal journeys, but the collective destiny of all souls. The light at the end of the tunnel was not merely a symbol of hope, it was the tangible manifestation of God's mercy and the creative power of unconditional love at work. Yet, amid this sea of transcendent beauty, I also encountered the stark contrast of weak, ineffective prayers. Gabriel led me to a quiet corner where the dim, flickering lights of half-hearted supplications resided. These were the prayers marred by doubt, empty repetition, or selfish intent, voices that barely registered in the divine symphony. I sensed a deep sorrow in these feeble echoes, a poignant reminder that the strength of our prayers depends not on their volume, but on the depth of our faith and the purity of our hearts. In that silent space, I felt the weight of every missed opportunity to embrace the full power of prayer, a chance to align with a greater purpose and to allow the radiant energy of unconditional love to transform our lives. Gabriel's presence became even more profound as he unveiled a vision of the prayer repository, a living library containing every prayer ever spoken. I was overwhelmed by the sight of countless prayers, each one a testament to the enduring power of faith. They spanned centuries, a continuous thread connecting the past, present, and future, affirming that prayer exists outside the constraints of time. Here, I witnessed the miraculous interplay of destiny and divine intervention as past prayers continued to ripple through the cosmos, influencing lives in ways that defied mortal comprehension. In that sacred moment, as I gazed upon this vast repository, I experienced a profound shift within myself. Every prayer I had ever whispered, whether filled with deep conviction or marred by hesitation, was laid bare before me. I saw clearly that my journey, my struggles, and my triumphs were all interwoven with the eternal currents of unconditional love. It was a revelation that shattered any remnants of doubt, affirming that our connection with the divine is both real and transformative. As Gabriel's radiant presence slowly receded, leaving me with a heart brimming with newfound purpose, I felt the call to return to life with a mission. I was not meant to simply witness this miraculous display of the spiritual realm. I was chosen to be a beacon of hope, a living testament to the power of sincere prayer and the transformative grace of our Creator. With every fiber of my being, I embrace this calling, determined to share the truth that every genuine prayer, when offered with absolute faith, has the power to change reality and to usher in a glorious new chapter in our lives. As I stood at the threshold of that boundless spiritual realm, the vision took an even more intimate turn. A moment when I beheld my own prayers, woven intricately into the tapestry of eternity. In this profound consciousness projection, every whispered plea and fervent cry was laid out before me like a sacred manuscript. I saw the flicker of prayers born from moments of deep gratitude, their golden light pulsating with the warmth of unconditional love. In contrast, the half-hearted utterances, those lacking in true conviction, appeared as feeble sparks, barely touching the vast luminescence that surrounded me. The revelation was overwhelming. Here, in the midst of the spiritual realm, I realized that every prayer, regardless of its perceived strength, contributed to a grand, cosmic design. Each one was a thread in a divine fabric, a strand in the great DNA of creation that wove together the past, present, and future. I felt as if I was witnessing the very blueprint of life after death, a realm where the light at the end of the tunnel wasn't just an abstract promise, but a tangible, radiant truth that transcended the boundaries of our earthly existence. Gabriel, my luminous guide, then led me to a vision even more astonishing: the prayer repository. Imagine a vast living library where every prayer ever spoken exists as a shimmering record, a timeless archive that defies the constraints of linear time. In this repository, prayers from centuries past mingled effortlessly with those being uttered in the present, all converging to form a perpetual testament to the power of faith. I saw how a prayer made by a devoted soul long ago continued to echo through the corridors of the universe, altering destinies and opening new pathways of possibility. In that awe-inspiring moment, I experienced a personal life review, a panoramic vision of every instance when I had sought divine intervention. I saw moments of raw vulnerability, where fear and doubt had clouded my spirit, juxtaposed with flashes of unshakable belief that had lit up my path like beacons in the dark. The experience was both humbling and transformative. It was as if God, in His infinite mercy, had gently illuminated the impact of every sincere prayer, revealing that even the smallest act of faith carries the potential to alter reality in ways we cannot fathom. The profound beauty of that experience lay in the realization that the power of prayer was not reserved for the exalted or the devout alone. It was a universal gift, accessible to anyone willing to open their heart to unconditional love. As I witnessed my own spiritual DNA unfurl before me, I understood that prayer was not a mere plea for help, but a dynamic act of co-creation with the divine. Each prayer, when aligned with God's will, became a powerful force capable of reshaping life circumstances. It was a clear, undeniable message. Life after death is not a static, final destination, but a continuation of our spiritual journey, an endless exploration of God's grace and mercy. And then, as if to seal this revelation, Gabriel imparted one final, stirring message. In that silent, electric exchange of pure consciousness, he conveyed the ultimate truth of our existence. You must return. You have been chosen to be a witness, to share the transformative power of prayer with those still journeying through darkness. His words, resonating directly within my soul, echoed the eternal promise of salvation as taught by our Lord. They reminded me of the sacred words from John 14:6, where Jesus declared, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." In that moment, I knew that the near-death experience was not merely an escape from mortality, but a divine invitation to join in the creative process of our Creator, to live a life imbued with purpose, guided by faith, and illuminated by the light of His unconditional love. The transition back to my earthly body was nothing short of miraculous. I awoke in the emergency room with a gasp that reverberated through the hearts of all present. Doctors and nurses were astounded by the rapid return of my vital signs, as if the grace of that sacred encounter had breathed new life into me. In the days that followed, every aspect of my existence bore the indelible mark of that encounter. I found myself embracing the sacraments with renewed fervor, whether in the quiet moments of confession or the communal celebration of the Eucharist. Each prayer I uttered from that day forward carried the vibrant energy of the spiritual realm, a living reminder that our every word has the power to effect real change. This journey, this near-death experience, reshaped my understanding of what it means to live and to pray. I now see life as a continuous dialogue with the divine, a conversation where every sincere prayer is a brushstroke on the canvas of eternity. The radiance of that light at the end of the tunnel continues to guide me, a constant beacon of hope that whispers of life after death and the eternal embrace of unconditional love. With a heart forever transformed by this encounter, I am compelled to share this truth, that our prayers are the most potent expression of our faith, a sacred testament to the limitless compassion and mercy of God. And so, as I stand before you, I invite you to reflect on your own moments of prayer. Consider the times when you have reached out in faith, even when the darkness seemed overwhelming. Remember that every sincere plea, every humble request is received and magnified in the spiritual realm, a realm where life after death is a journey of endless discovery, where consciousness projection unveils the true essence of our souls, and where the power of unconditional love reigns supreme. You see, my dear friend, this is not just my story. It is a message for all who yearn for hope, for transformation, for a deeper connection with the divine. Embrace the mystery of your own spiritual journey and let the profound power of prayer light your path. For in every moment of sincere devotion lies the promise of renewal, the assurance that our lives are forever intertwined with the eternal dance of creation.